Alright, welcome to a new video. In this video we're gonna work with the input of the mouse and the pointer. In this case we're gonna have this little guy dancing right here, and we're gonna grab it and put it over here, or we can grab it and put it over here. And with this little project we're gonna do a basic overview of using the mouse pointer and the mouse buttons on our video game. So let's get to it. Alright, once you create a new project, the first thing as always we do is import the texture. And for this I'm gonna leave you a link in the description to the sprite sheet we're gonna be using. So go ahead and import that sprite sheet, and let's go ahead and set it up. The size is 64 by 64. Let's put it over here too. And since our spreadsheet is black and our background is black, you can't really see it, so we're gonna change the background color to whatever other color that you're able to see the image. So let's set up the columns right here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 columns, and I covered all of this in the past video, so if you didn't see that, I'm gonna leave you the link on the upper right corner so you can go and watch that. So this sprite sheet has two animations. This one, it's the character dancing, and this one, it's like hanging. So we're gonna go ahead and split that. For that we're gonna use the Catmod, the sprite sheet Catmod. And like I said, I covered this in a past video, so you can go ahead and watch that if you don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up, and I'm gonna speed it up so you don't have to sit there and watch me type things. Alright, so you can go ahead and pause this so you can copy this. We basically just split into two animations, the dance animation and the hanging animation. Alright, so we're ready to create a type from our texture. Go ahead and create a type. And on create, we're gonna set the animation speed. We're gonna set it to be 60 frames per second. And then we're gonna come to the on-step tab. And over here is where the magic happens. So let's go ahead and first we need to check if the mouse is hovering our type and if it's clicking. And you can come over here to the module docs, the mouse input, because you can see mouse input is actually a Catmod, but it's enabled by default. So you shouldn't worry about enabling or disabling the mouse input Catmod, but it's a Catmod. So the information for this, it's over here in the modules documents, and the mouse input. You have all the API right here, so we're gonna use like the mouse position, and we're gonna be checking if the mouse is gonna be down. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna check if the mouse is hovering this. So if the mouse is hovering this, the type, whoops. So we're gonna check that, and we're also gonna check if the mouse is down. So that means that the mouse is on top of our type and is clicking down on a button. So if that happens, we want our type to follow our mouse pointer. So we want our type's X to be equal to the mouse X. And we want our type's Y to be equals to the mouse Y. And with this is gonna set, if we're hovering and clicking down on our type, this is gonna set the X and Y equals to the pointer X and Y. And remember that right now, as we the way we have our spreadsheet set up, this dot over here is the 0, 0. So basically this is the 0x and 0y of our image, of our type. So by doing this, we're gonna be placing our type, the top left corner, right in our pointer. And that's not really ideal of what we want. So we're gonna move the X, we're gonna move it 32 pixels to the right, and the Y, we're gonna move it 8 pixels to the bottom. So this is gonna be like grabbing it by the head. So let's go ahead and check that out. Let's create a room. You can really name it whatever you want. And we're gonna change the color over here in properties, just to something that doesn't burn our eyes. Let's come over here to copies and place our copy. And let's check this out. We're gonna launch this. So right now, this is our copy, and if we click on it, it jumps to the head, and then we can move it around. Remember, because this is the 0, x0, y0. We added 32 pixels to x and 8 pixels to y. That's why we're grabbing it by the head, and you can move it around. So let's do the animations now. Let's come over here on step, and when we're moving around, we want this the hanging animation, so our character hangs. So we're gonna check if the animation is different than the hang animation, we want to set it as the hang animation, and then we want to hit play. And so right now, with this code, if the mouse is hovering this copy and if the mouse button is down, we're following the pointer and we have the hanging animation. And if we're not hovering or clicking down on our type, then we just don't want to do nothing, and we want to set the dancing animation so our character starts dancing when we set it down. So we're just gonna check if the animation is different than the dancing animation, and it's just, if it's different, we want to set it to the dancing animation, and we want to hit play. Okay. And with this code, this should be enough for what we want to do. So let's go ahead and check it out. We hit launch. And right here we have our copy dancing, our character dancing, and if we click on it, it hangs and it follows us, and we could put it right there, or grab it and we can put it right here. And this is a quick example of how to use the mouse pointer in your game. But right now, it doesn't really matter what button on your mouse you press. You can press the middle button or the right button or the left button. It doesn't really matter. For a more serious project, you're gonna want to come over here to projects, settings, and over here to action and input methods, and make a new input. And right here you can select a specific mouse left, mouse right, mouse middle, or the wheel, or up to 6 different special buttons that your mouse can have, and you can set it up so you can be specific on what you want to do. But for this example, I think this is enough. Alright, well, thank you for staying all the way to the end, and I hope this video was useful to you. that you learned something, and if not, at least I hope I entertained you a little bit. As always, I'm gonna leave you a link to download the ct.js engine in the description. Free open source multi-platform. So I hope you like this, and I'll see you on the next video.